we'll start by setting by strength. Of course, it's the tight end, the receiver strength. Most of you probably do it the same type of way. We have the Mike or left, and our center always give a Ringo or Lucky call based on the receiver strength. So it's a little different for them at times because it kind of makes them, not always the same. It's kind of another thing where I think it makes us a little different. We could have the strong side of the defense over here, but have the strong safety on the other side based on what we want matchup wise with the receivers. So we always have like a way to get our back end lined up the way we would prefer, not just based on the strength call that the Mike calls. And you can look through this. I'll send you any of this. If you guys email me at the end, I'll send you the whole thing if you want to look through it. I am a, Bear Bryant guy. I don't fuss and fight about the 6, 7, 9 and all that other stuff. It's just how I learned it. I always say that like whatever you feel the most comfortable with and you teach your kids, that's awesome. Like make it yours. And if it makes more sense to you that the way that you do it, where you number them in correct numerical order, which is kind of weird because I am a math guy by nature, math teacher. The 6, 7, 9 thing, I'm sure that's been debated all over Twitter, but we do it at our place. And when you teach your kids, they don't know any different. And they line up where you tell them. So our strength our strength triangle dictated by the offense. Now this is a strength call, right? We're going to set it left or right based on the tight end strength, maybe the back, whatever in our progression that we have that week. It may just be based on game plan that week. We may want to set it away from the tight end, put our Sam to the weak side all week. It could be that. So if you look here, if you look at kind of the way we do it with PQD, anything that has a lineman where it's blocked in front, if you can see with the guys right there where it's the little filled in front of the offensive lineman, means a head up technique. So we are based in a head up technique with our 3 down linemen. Like they start head up, a 0 and 2 4s. And that's where they live. Now we have calls that move them around, but that is where we start. Our Sam, anchor, and Mike, we call our strong side in an anchor. Sam and Mike are our strong side backers. Okay, that's the original triangle in the strength. Now, if you want to kind of lump, they're sometimes not always matched because again, we set it sometimes based on our receiver. Our free safety and corner, boundary corner are always usually matched up, but the triangle there with the will, the band, some 3 4s, the jack is is the boundary in, but linebackers we've kind of bigger, badder dude, so we always kind of have him to the strength or the boundary side when we get there. But if you notice the triangle, that's the guys that are married when we set the front. So if you set the front, you go the strong side, the weak side goes weak. Our hash triangle, so if you remember that, like in your mind how it looked, we make a subtle change, okay? It's set purely before the offense comes out. And I think it's one of the things that when everybody sped up, I was trying to find ways to get our kids, if the ball went down, I could make a call immediately and we would all be lined up. It did not matter what they were lined up in because we were just going to adjust coverage wise and in our alignments to fix it, as opposed to trying to get in the perfect strength call, getting outnumbered, trying to make different checks. No. Our kids are already not moving around. They're standing there waiting on the offense. Come on, get lined up. We'll fix it. So if you look here, we move the jack to the field. Like I said, our jack is more athletic. If you kind of imagine, he would be like a nickel back, a bigger safety, backer who's a tough kid. Now, in our defense, that kid has the toughest, absolute toughest responsibilities. He covers, he shows power, he squeezes tight ends, he plays man-to-man on slot receivers. He has to be the jack of all trades. Him and the Sam are really what make our defense go because they have to do so much in coverage and spilling power and being physical. So those guys are kind of jack of all trades. Now he's not as big a dude as the Sam, if you can imagine that. The Sam is more of a guy who is built like a big defensive big defensive end. Like he's your quicker, stronger guy. Um, so we want to put him when we set purely by a hash. We're going to put our stronger end into our stronger backer into the boundary with the strong side end. Now, if you notice, we've also put the will. Now, in our defense, the will is usually a guy that we have that's if you had to rank the four backers, he's probably the one that's closer to being a plugger. Okay, because he's almost always covered up in our defense by somebody who's uber athletic or one of our better players. We tend to cover them up. That's what I was talking about with the numbers thing is you can choose to run the boundary against us because typically we kind of tilt the numbers towards the field because based in high school, you have so much area out towards the field. We're going to put our numbers there. We're going to put our better players in the boundary because a lot of people want to attack the numbers. If you're numbers based, well, fine. But you're going to have to run at our guy who can spill power all day long and we'll fit right over. Okay. We're going to make you make that decision. Okay. The math tells you where the defense has the numbers. Um, so we have, the jack, the bandit, the Mike to the field. They are always to the field together. So they are married. When they hear a hash call, they're like, boom, I'm out. That's where I start. This is exactly where they start. And they wait on the offense to come out to make their coverage call and adjust, slide down into a nine technique with a tight end. However, we need to adjust. It is based on that hash call. And typically it's in the family of field and bench. Those are the two indicators that we give them. And I'll talk about that more as we go. Seven terminology. Now, this is coordinator Dutch Fork and Lenny Gregory at Grayson way back in the day, who was at Collins Hill for a while. And I kind of stole this. We call them edge take the linemen, the three down linemen, the anchor, nose, and bandit basically play one of these three plants and loops and stunts, but we do all that in pressures. But our base techniques, you're either an edge, a go, or a blast. And all they're doing is reading the down lineman, reading the offensive line. So when they get a fade, we call it you are only reading the face or the butt of the lineman you're aimed at when you come off the ball. We tell them if you see let's say that our end is slanting into the B gap, he's looking at the face of the guard. If the face turns towards me, I'm going to fight the face and I'm going to hold that gap. I'm going to hold that B gap. If he turns his butt and goes away from me, I'm going to squeeze that ass right all the way down, ride it down in there and look for a play. And then his second thing is a double team. If he gets the face and feels the pressure, he's going to fight the face and throw his big, beautiful butt right into that double team and split it. Okay. Those are the three things they're really kind of reading. It makes it a little simpler. But in the simpler, it's fight the face, squeeze the butt, fight a double team.